Ready? Everybody, hi everybody. Sorry about the lapse here. I think, when was the last time we were on, Patrick?
Well, this week we had a big snowstorm on Monday.
Big snowstorm and then a rainstorm. So
and then before that was New Year's.
Yeah, and then Christmas.
So.
And there was a lot of activity. So sorry, it's good to be back actually, and we got a lot to catch up on. But Patrick, just we'll get to it. But I have to laugh a little bit. He was telling me Nico posted a tire.
Yeah, I've seen it all now.
What do you think of that, Patrick?
That's really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to it. Is that in Facebook forum?
Yeah, there's a kind of a video. It's a short video, but I put before and after on those pictures.
You know, that's the type of thing that can, the reason I bring it up, I had a couple ideas like that. When you first start in a business, it doesn't hurt to get a little publicity. And I think that would be a good way, like, to have a tire store maybe sponsor you or something, or, show a little bit of different people, like even get a news story out of it. When I first opened a business, and I didn't do this, but I give the idea to you guys, if somebody's out there trying to open up a business. I don't know if Patrick remembers this, but we were going to go around upholstery, putting fitted cushions on park benches, and without telling anybody. And eventually, I'm sure it would get noticed. Like we're like the phantom upholsterers we were going to be, and just padding out some park benches.
Those would definitely last.
Here and there. No, they wouldn't. They'd be gone. I mean, they'd be gone, but you wouldn't expect them to last. But people would be wondering, who is this phantom upholsterer? Maybe you could generate some excitement for your business that way, and let people find out who you are, or maybe leak it to the press, if you know what I mean. But, it doesn't hurt. Those little stories that you get when you first open a business, trust me, they have a lot of legs, so it would be fun. So what else have we done, Patrick, for publicity? We don't really need to do it now because we're an established business, but it's very difficult to break into a business. So I would advise anybody before the brick and mortar, especially if you're doing a brick and mortar, you're thinking about a brick and mortar, don't open the brick and mortar without doing a lot of prep work and a lot of social media, a lot of these news stories. Try to get your name out there somehow, any way you can. It doesn't hurt. Trust me, it with everything that we do. Like I was looking, Patrick, at the shop before I came in Arlington, and they've got 6, some of the famous things that we've done. People might have heard me talk about this, but you have the John Belushi sofa, you have the Friends sofa, you have H.R. Haldeman's love seat, you have Johnny Cash, you have Lady Di. I'm forgetting one. Which is the one I'm forgetting, Patrick? There was one I'm forgetting.
Haldeman, right?
Yeah. But those are just examples of some of the... Napoleon's chair. That's probably the most famous one, his actual chair. So, it's it doesn't hurt to get these, to promote yourself like that. There's nothing wrong with it. You're trying to maintain a small business. You're going to try to take every advantage you can. But anyhow, that said, any comments or questions, or anybody looking right now?
Malcolm says hi.
Hi, Malcolm.
And I should say Happy New Year to everybody. It's the first time you've been on in the New Year. So.
Happy New Year. I'm going to ask Malcolm, has Malcolm done anything out of the ordinary like Nico in order to attract attention, or is just the fact that he's a handsome guy, is that enough to carry him through life?
He's blessed.
Is that what he says? He's blessed?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If only we're so lucky.
Yeah, we're all not,
Adonis is.
Robert Redfords, that's for sure.
Except for me.
Well, Patrick, I wouldn't gloat if I were you.
You know what you should do? Maybe a little year in review of how the upholstery business was in 2023.
I think it was an average. It turns out to be an average year. As a small business, I just think that we're at our limit. I mean, we're blessed. We are blessed that we're in a good, pretty much a good economy most of the time, in a good area. We pull from many other towns. I mean, you just can't be one town and pull from one town. That's for sure. You really do have to be more of a regional. We're not a neighborhood business. We're more of a, we'd call it regional, would you, Patrick? What would you call multi-town upholstery shop? We got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 towns.
Well, really, the business is Arlington, really.
Right.
I mean, not so much out here.
Right. So
Sometimes, right?
it's a struggle sometimes. We did get slow there. It's just picked up a little bit today, Patrick. But I do panic a little bit when it slows down, and you wonder what are you doing wrong. You're probably not doing anything wrong. It's just that it's slow and people are doing other things. Like people seem to be busy around the holidays, so they're not thinking upholstery. Whereas that wasn't the case a few years ago. So it's interesting. One of my favorite subjects in a little extended school that I had was sociology and demographics and things like that. That helps too in a small business for sure, knowing who your customer is and keeping them happy. But there's many many balls in the air when you're talking a small business. We have that video, Patrick, the YouTube video. By the way, if people are just tuning in, we have a YouTube video that are free. We have have you counted how many of those we had, Patrick? That's your job next time. Hundreds, right?
Yeah.
So there's a couple there about how to run an upholstery shop. There's a few of them we did.
I think just one.
So anybody interested in opening up an upholstery shop should take a look at that. We've had people who have been so successful they've moved on. We don't hear from them like Blair. If Blair's watching, he should touch bases with us and we'll see how he's doing. I see his Facebook. I think he's doing well. But Blair was a person that started in his living room watching the free YouTube videos. And I think he bought a couple of classes in the beginning there, didn't he, Patrick?
I'm not sure.
But he's taken advantage of the YouTube videos that are free, the Facebook that's free. I think the Facebook's a great resource, Broadway Upholstery School Facebook. And also the paid online classes, which we've got a couple of comments to those, right, Patrick, today? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get...
Well, before you move on,
yeah.
do you think it was more successful in 2022?
I think it was the same.
The same.
So at least it was stable, right?
Well, that's good.
So
well, here's the 2024 being even more successful then, right?
Yep. So we'll get to the YouTube on how to tie a slip knot. Very well explained. Thank you. Was that's an interesting comment because I remember that when I was shown that there wasn't much patience in my mentors who were busy trying to make a living. So you can understand why. But when they showed me that knot, it was like so fast. And what we did was we slowed it down. Patrick didn't put the video on slow motion, but I slowed down. This is why the online classes work. And that's a good example. Watch that YouTube video to see. We slow the process down so that you can understand it. And you're not going to be fast in the beginning. You're going to be slow. So we try to match that, knowing that. And I think Jimmy is brilliant on the online classes for the good questions that he asks and the slow pace that he has. It's really helpful. So the next one is repairing a down ramp on a cushion. Josie says, thank you for your video on down cover for cushions. I want to make a down envelope to hold the foam to make a large upholstery scatter cushion. You're about the nearest I've seen to do this. Apologies if it sounds confusing. I'm in the UK. I'm also a beginner at anything like this. The UK, unfortunately, has lost its apprenticeship upholstery apprenticeship program that they used to have. They used to have I worked with a gentleman from England, and he learned his trade through the train service. In the train business, there were all upholstered seats in those old trains. And they used to have their own upholstery department, and they used to have their own apprenticeship program. But he was like the last person, and that's got to be at least 25 years ago, one of the last upholsterers to come out of that training. And now, as I understand it, the United Kingdom, that's why she's watching my videos. There's not much left in the way of apprenticeship programs. Now, Sweden does a good job. I had a Swedish intern. Remember that, Patrick?
Yep.
We had a Swedish intern come. Imagine that. I got a call one day. Hi, I'm from Sweden. Can I be your intern? What do you think of that, Patrick?
It actually happened.
It did happen, and she was brilliant, and she was good. They have a program. She had a bachelor's degree. I think it was a bachelor's, maybe an associate's degree, in upholstery. Associate's 2 years, right, Pat? Right?
I mean, for upholstery, I don't know.
She had a degree in upholstery. She was really good. She was really good. She taught me a couple of things.
Don't anything like that over here, that's for sure.
No.
Maybe trade school.
Trade schools don't, as far as I know, they don't
Right.
teach. They don't even teach upholstery because they think it's a dead industry, which I don't think it is, but they do. I think in
Pick
the,
up on what Malcolm's saying here.
what's
He
that?
said things have been quiet for him too. I have to do something new for the new year. Says I didn't make a stop motion film. That's really cool. About
Motion
repairing
film?
a
What's
stop
that?
motion film.
What's that?
About repairing a fancy chair. It's on my website, but few views. Well, check that out.
Oh, he's starting to post videos now.
And I'll go get on here and post some stuff on YouTube.
That's cool.
Stop motion, you know that, remember?
No.
Where they take it's a bunch of pictures, I think, right? Like the old
Oh.
card. Remember, was it Gumby? Stop motion.
I don't know. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, all right. Fixing a pop button. One of the most favorite videos. One of the most favorite videos. How's that for English, Patrick?
Huh?
English is a second language. By the way,
Jimmy's not even here.
I just kind of laugh. Kind of laugh. You know, I teach these classes in studio with another one coming up Tuesday. By the way, for another 8-week. We just finished an 8-week on Wednesday night, but another one coming up Tuesday. But I had in one of these, I had these two lovely French ladies who took the class. And the first night, they said to me in broken English, they were right like off the plane. We don't say off the boat anymore. We say off the plane, right, Patrick? And they were like, they landed in America. Their husbands had jobs, and they came to America, and the first time here, and they said in broken English, "We would like to learn English through you, through me," right?
I would have said, good luck.
You know what?
to
You know what I
Go
said?
somewhere else.
You know what I said to her? I said, "You're gonna have a wicked awesome time in
Yeah,
this
exactly.
class."
Yeah. What's a car?
I said, all you have to do to learn English, Boston English, is put an AH after every word that you say.
No. I'm glad they went elsewhere.
No, they took the class.
But for
Thank God we had other students in the class who were patient and were teaching them. At the end of the class, they came up to me speaking English pretty darn good, I must say, and they said they learned more in the class that they took because they were kind of immersed in the language than they did in the ESL classes they were taking at night. So these classes, another thing I wanted to mention, if you have any type of small business, and you could probably any small business like bakeries, delis, upholstery, woodworking. I can name a lot of small businesses that could run these classes. I mean, they take a great effort, no doubt, and I go back and forth on this, right, Patrick?
Well,
But they're a great community-based thing. That's the key to small business, man. Use my model. Take a look at what I'm doing. Go on our website, Upholstery on Broadway. Take a look at what we're doing. We don't mind people copy. It's the greatest form of flattery, right, Patrick?
yep, and I think this is Randy on here.
Hey,
His
Randy.
name is different, but I think it's him.
He's incognito. He's in the witness protection.
RGB.
He's
but
in the
has a-
witness protection.
Yeah.
And I got a story about that. I have to tell that story.
Maybe his name's not even Randy at all.
His name's not. Maybe it's Al Capone.
So the trade school here stopped the certificate in upholstery in the late 80s. It's now a single workshop type class. At least they had one at some point.
The reason they do it, they go on the government description of jobs, and they see they talk about the potential job market. They always focus on the job market. For instance, plumbers. We're going to need plumbers, and there's a solid way of tracking how many plumbers there are, what they're making per hour, and all that. With the upholsterers, they look at the want ads too. I think wanted upholsterer. I haven't seen many of those ads. But what they're leaving out are the independents like us, the people who are working independently. They don't calculate that. I don't think, or the necessity. There is a necessity to it. I think. Anyhow, what was I saying before that, Patrick? Oh, never mind. I won't say that. Fixing a pop button. Johnny says, great invention that saves thousands of dollars. Indeed. Is he being I was just watching a Seinfeld episode where's the emphasis on this. Let me read this to you, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
Great. I'll read it I'm going to read it two times, two different ways, right? Listen. Great invention that saves thousands of dollars indeed, right? Or is it great invention that saves thousands of dollars indeed? Which one is it?
Oh God!
Is he being sarcastic? Because I think I mentioned it in the video, and that was the one. Malcolm, you'd like this, and Randy. We did a MacGyver on this. I said, not everybody's going to have a German needle, and not everybody's going to buy a German needle. They don't know what a German needle is. So we devised a method to fix a pop button using a washer, twine, and a pair of needle nose pliers, I think.
And that's now our most popular video.
Yeah.
More than 8 wait time. The most popular video we have.
Isn't that something? And do you have the statistics, Bill? I keep asking you for statistics.
Well, it's hard. I can open another window here and check. But
I want to know how many subscribers we have. I want to know how many hits these videos have. I need all that information at your fingertips. If you don't do it, you're out the door.
oh, I can tell you right now, we've slowed down.
I don't want to hear that.
Much.
I want results. You'll get back to me on that, Patrick?
Yes.
Oh, Janine's commenting. How you doing, Janine? I hope things are well for you. The Upholstery Show Live, 1800 Sofa, Part 3. Great as always. What a hard... This was 3 weeks ago. What a hard upholstery project. I can't remember which one that was. It was really good being live with you all. Is she there now, Patrick?
Don't think so.
Can't wait to see the next project of a sofa or a love seat. Janine's been one of our favorite and earliest people that on the YouTube, Patrick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Janine on an amazing 1800 sofa. Such a beautiful sofa, great work so far. I hope we get to see it finished. Did we finish that one, Patrick? There was a part 2, amazing.
We did, what, 4 parts or 3, probably.
And
3.
we
By the time
finished
you
it.
get to the 4th, it was gone.
Did we finish it or no?
No, the one with Jimmy, when he was here and you were doing it live,
Mhm.
the 1800s.
Well, maybe I had to finish it. That's the
You
problem.
finished a lot of it on your
I
on
have
your
to
own.
because the
That's supposed to be for
customers-
the class, remember?
They're calling me.
We won't make that mistake again. The next piece we find won't be a customer's.
Okay, Java Man, he's responding to stuffing a cushion cheaply and effectively. I think when you use keywords like free,
Cheap, yeah, free,
cheap,
yeah.
effectively, no money needed,
Yeah.
quick video.
No talent needed.
No,
Yeah.
hey, wait a minute.
Not you.
Yeah. He says, I have not thought of landfills in capital letters, and when for the first time I would do something that resembles your back cushions, I shall be very careful in not contaminating the environment! Exclamation point. Thanks for your valuable video, as though the lesson of being an environmentally friendly upholsterer. Well, you know, it's true. When you think about, you take a sofa, which is, let's say just 6 feet long by 2 feet. That's 6 times 2 is 12 square feet. 12. No, my math might be a little foggy here. 12 square feet. Is that 12 square feet, or is that right, Patrick?
Mm.
If it's 6 feet by 2 feet, you go 6 times 2 to get 12 square feet. Yeah, 12 square feet.
Michaela, you want to chime in?
But it's also got height to it.
No idea.
It's got height to it too, so the volume is off a little bit. So you've got to times it again by another at least 3 feet. So right, Michaela, are you listening? So you're probably in volume looking at about 36 to 50 square feet. Would you say, in volume?
Sure, let's go with that.
Don't laugh.
I don't know
some
what-
of my old math comes
Yeah.
back. It helps being a little intuitive, being around people for so long and working with people in customer service. I had a couple come in, a young couple. They came in, 30-ish, and they wanted a cylinder. This hardly ever do this. A cylinder back cushion that was long too across the sofa, and they wanted to know yardage. I said, well, first of all, how wide is it? They said 12. I said, then pi, 3.14 is pi times 12, 36.75 inches is more than enough in order to railroad the fabric, and you need this
Here we go.
amount,
Here's Randy to the rescue.
right?
24 square feet times height is cubic feet.
Cubic feet. That's what I thought. So what did he come up with? 24?
No, not that. 24 times
Okay.
height is
Yeah.
cubic feet.
Okay, times the height.
Oh, wait, hold on. 24. I don't know
Times
what he
three.
means. Maybe
24 times-
24 the answer, or is 24 the.
He's saying 24 is the... Well,
Let's move on from this math because it's not going well.
Well, so I want to finish up with this other story. So I looked up, they were both smiling when I was figuring out the calculations, and I looked up. Now, first time I met these people, I said, well, you guys shouldn't be impressed by that because you're both scientists. And they looked at me and they said, yeah, we are scientists. How did I know they were scientists, Patrick? I don't know. It's just it doesn't hurt. And, if I was wrong, I just would have laughed and would have had a joke about it. But it doesn't hurt to be a little intuitive when it comes to sales. As a small business owner and as somebody that's a lot of times by myself, I have to do everything. Michaela, her brilliant salesmanship or sales ladyship, is that what they call it, Michaela? Do they call it saleswoman or
saleship?
Sales she or
sales
she
ship.
or her?
Sales ship.
Oh, do they take out the man?
I guess.
Is that? Well, we won't go any more with that one, right, Patrick?
I was just looking it up, so
What?
So I was laughing before because the picture of you with the world's biggest sofa and all the cats and dogs in the same picture.
Which one is that?
So that's our second most.
World's biggest sofa?
No, it's the world's biggest sofa. I used the picture and I put a bunch of cats in it. It's called pet damaged upholstery. How to fix it. That's our second most popular video.
Well, pet damage is a big thing, and they're our favorite. Our favorite animal's a cat. Our second favorite animal's a dog, right, Patrick?
That's something interesting.
And our
Stuffing a cushion cheaply and effectively is our most viewed video.
Is it?
But our most liked video is fixing a popped button.
How many people have watched stuffing a cheap cushion effectively?
Almost 200,000 views.
You got to be kidding me. That's a
almost
lot of
2,000 likes.
That's a lot of.
And Malcolm's just talking. He has a good point.
What?
This is what we're struggling with lately. He says YouTube is tough. If you don't keep uploading new material, you disappear quickly. I don't think we've disappeared, but we're not doing as well as we should be with the uploading. That's for sure. And we want to do more, but we're very busy down there, right?
Yeah, we don't have any excuse except that there's not enough time in the day sometimes, right, Patrick?
Always go by. We were just talking about this. What makes the most money, and this does make a decent amount. But like Malcolm said, it's tough to get these things to where you're making tons of money.
Well, what we don't know is how to track it, though. I mean, I do have people do find you through YouTube or Google. When they Google your upholstery, sometimes the YouTube comes up. And the advantage to that is they say, oh, this guy's teaching, he must be good. Whereas another upholsterer who isn't teaching, a lot of people use that if they're shopping. I had somebody come in the shop the other day. I was the third upholsterer that they had seen. That's happened to me twice within the last couple of weeks. It's happening that people are shopping for upholsterers. So if you're teaching too on YouTube, it's just another feather in your cap.
It's tough too because it's not like you're retired. We still have our main business, which makes
if I wasn't in that Arlington, we would be posting 5 videos a week at least.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what other posters. I'm sure there's other ones that are.
We would be
doing
both.
But
I mean, thank God we have a library. When people get on there, they can search the library of things. So this is.
But I think so. Before you, sorry, I said Malcolm, we still give it a shot. And that's what we did. We posted that first video on the cell phone, right, Dad?
Yeah, the shaky one.
Yeah, and we had fun doing it. As long as you have fun doing it. If you don't like it, if you don't know.
Yeah, but we were having fun. You were younger, and I remembered that it was just goofy at first, and then we got that call, that famous call, and I've told you guys this before, but it was a call from a woman who was supplementing her income, trying to raise. She was a single mother trying to raise. She had this upholstery thing going on in her basement, watching my videos, and she was saying she was supplementing her with watching our videos and doing work. And then I said to Patrick, I said, the goofiness, for the most part, has to go. We need to get serious.
And I didn't like that.
I know, but if people were relying on us for part of their, living, then that changes everything.
Well, the goofiness has come back.
A little bit. So this is the upholstery show. The pricing, I just mentioned that, Patrick. Thanks for the info, David says. Welcome to Broadway Upholstery School. Wasn't that the first one?
No, that's the video we shot later.
User says, this is a fantastic show. Clearly very good at your art, taught by masters, good instructor, very well instructed. I've collected antiques for 45 plus years and was always interested in learning the proper art of upholstery. I repair and service antique clocks, now interested in learning to reupholster. I have subscribed and look forward to more videos. Thank you. That's great, Patrick.
Yeah.
I should say he repairs and services antique clocks. I had a customer, because we're in New England, we see a lot of antiques, and we go into a lot of old homes. So this home, I can't remember the community it was in, but I'll never forget the clock that I saw in there because of the story behind the clock. This house was built in the 1600s, Patrick.
Wow.
So it's probably one of the oldest homes in New England. And they had a clock that was brought over in the ship that had not stopped ticking since they built the house in the 1600s.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
They have the service, obviously it's well maintained. It's never stopped ticking since the 1600s in America.
Wow.
So it comes from England. This clock came from England on the ship, probably one of the original ships that came over here maybe, and it's still ticking. You believe that?
That's crazy.
I mean, that's workmanship, right?
Yeah, that's nuts.
So this is a long one, but I think this is really interesting. This Shellback, week 7, lesson 13 and 14, applying Shellback and starting outside. This is from. Are there any comments or questions we should keep up with, Patrick? This
Malcolm was talking about YouTube. Yeah, he's right. Unless you make millions of views, you can't make a living. Is different than making a little extra money.
I could do it. I have a creative side that could do these phony videos that I see. You guys have seen them. I've seen them where one kid he goes around and he puts a bucket on a guy's head. Do you see that one, Patrick?
Yeah.
He's in a supermarket and somebody's just in there shopping.
Then he puts a bucket on his own head.
And he comes behind the guy
look around.
and he puts a bucket on him. I think he pays them $100, by the way, Patrick. He pays them, and the guy, he says to the guy, just act mad and chase me. Because the bucket comes off, the guy gets mad, and he chases this kid around.
I can throw a sofa on your head, you can do the same thing.
Patrick, you and I are creative. We could come up with something. We could get 1 million hits tomorrow on a video, I'm sure. Like that Phantom upholstery. You could show me going around to these park benches, upholstering these cushions on these park benches at night. Something like that. Something stupid that gets all these hits. But do they make money doing that, Patrick?
Well, in all fairness, a lot of not stupid things that make a lot, too. You have to have the right thing,
Well, that's true. So I literally have 2 of these exact chairs. He's talking about the Shellbacks. Got them at a thrift shop, a yard sale, like 10 years ago. I started to paint the material, but did not like the way it felt. Painting fabric was in a few years back, but it doesn't. It's just for looks. It feels like you feel it. It's all rough. It feels like sandpaper after you do it. It doesn't work. Painting obviously isn't for comfort and just for looks, but since I messed the material up on one of them, I just put them away under my house. I recently remembered them. I've been a subscriber to your channel for a while now, but have yet to actually reupholster anything. That's interesting. You see, he watches, but he doesn't upholster. Yeah. So I want to reupholster these 2 chairs in a new fabric, but I'm very nervous about ruining them. They are in great shape. They are creamy white colored, but they were old, dirty, and now one has fabric painted on it. I'd like to be a newer modern fabric to go with my couch. I want to reupholster as well. I figured that I'd start with a smaller project and see how it goes. I don't like paying money for something I could do myself to do a tight budget. I literally became a shade tree mechanic because I drive a 2013 Jeep.
Oh, nice.
And a mechanic asked for $5,000 just for replacing an oil filter housing.
We know how that is. We have a Jeep.
Yeah, and and new valve gas covers. I literally started to laugh. That's crazy. A lot of money. So me and YouTube agent, $300. So me and a YouTube spent $300, and I did it all by myself in 6 hours.
Wow, cool.
I've done many other things to the Jeep after this. I mean, YouTube's wonderful for this.
Yeah, I've followed things from that for our Jeep.
Have saved myself well over $10,000 in labor fees. He's saved himself, but it taught me something. I can literally do almost anything with YouTube. I've become an amateur carpenter, and I built or restored almost everything in my house. Upholstery is next on my list, so I've come to your channel for the help. Yep. I pray this goes well. I don't want these chairs to be a total loss. They are beautiful. Just need some TLC. Thank you for the videos, and wish me luck. Hopefully, if I need help, maybe I could comment to ask for help. I would definitely, if you're watching, definitely the Facebook's the best place to do that, right, Patrick?
Yeah, and he must have some sort of talent. I don't think anybody can just go on there and do an amazing job. So there must be some talent there.
I don't know if you could do that, but it would be very much appreciated. Also, I have a fainting couch I'd love to reupholster as well. Got it off a lady for $40. It's in perfect condition, but again, it's creamy white, satin striped material. It's dirty, and I like to change the look up. Hopefully, I can do that piece as well. I'll have to see if you have any videos for fainting couch, which I don't think I do. Thanks again for the video. I'll comment back with updates and maybe questions. Have an amazing day. That's a long one. That's an unusual one, right?
Well, that's what we're here for, to make people be able to save money, right?
Yep. Bill says now an amazing 1800 sofa. I really like the subdued fabric. So often folks choose inappropriate patterns and colors trying to modernize antiques. I agree. So let's get to the Facebook and
This is where the cool start with the tire.
Well, okay.
That's awesome.
It's not.
I think it's in the back. But
Oh
it's
wow,
so
that is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, she made it into an ottoman.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Seen
Nico.
everything now. The poster tire.
That's Nico. That's pretty cool.
It is.
And she doesn't have to put any padding on it.
I'm sure it still bounces.
And she's got it pleated really nicely, Nico. You did a good job on the pleats, and you even have a welt and a top for the glasses and such, and legs. I'd like to know how she attached the legs. Oh, and she shows the tire. Can you see that, Patrick, from there?
Yeah.
It's just a tire. That's
now,
cool.
the real test would put that back on the car. See what happens.
So now she gets into traditional. Hi, folks. This is from Nico. Is she on there yet, Patrick?
No, she's not.
She's considered
Just Malcolm and Randy for now.
in Facebook. She's considered a top contributor. I think Malcolm and Randy as well. I think. Do they have anything to comment, Patrick? Yet?
No, not yet.
Hi, folks. I need your help, please. Decided to use this vinyl on my latest chair project, and so far it looks fantastic. However, the vinyl is thicker than I'm used to and stiff. I'm nervous about tucking under the arms and rear legs. I don't the vinyl to tear when sat upon. Any tips on how to best to move forward? I'm using my heat gun to make it more pliable. I'm too far in to go back now. Yeah, it's very simple. She needs to make that a fitted seat, you guys, in my opinion. She's worried about that it's going to rip where she cuts around the post. So if that be the case, she needs to cut that around the posts half of an inch bigger to allow for welting that's put in at a half of an inch around each post. That's the solution. It's the only way to do it. Cutting it, she's right. That might split. Hi, folks. Just a quick note to say thank you. Okay, she's finished it. Let's see what she did. You all now these are. I haven't seen this, Patrick. These are people like Malcolm or people on Facebook helping her, which I think is great. It's like runs by itself,
Yeah.
right? Just a quick note to say thank you. You've all been instrumental in helping me build my skills, confidence, and business. Here's the last two projects of 2023. Regarding my last post, I'm happy to report I figured it out. So she figured it out, but I'm not sure. She doesn't tell us how she figured it out. So I think, to me, it almost looks like she started all over again and made an unupholstered seat out of it, which is interesting. That's
I
a
love how
lot
the
of work.
tires on the post.
So
Two
Mary
amazing chairs at
Kay,
a time.
Mary Kay Kenny. Now Mary Kay, I think, Patrick, is somebody local who's taken my class. This is a name from the past.
Really?
Yeah. Latest project. I had to replace the broken springs, and it is far more comfortable to sit. No, Mary Kay, didn't she buy an ottoman from us, Patrick? One of the few. Yeah. Mary Kay bought one of the ottoman kits.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, she did. I'm almost positive, and she finished it, and she did a good job. I had to replace the broken spring. It's far more comfortable to sit on now. Question: how do you decide what size springs go in a chair? Some of my projects are missing the seats. And how do you decide what size edge roll? It really is a question of aesthetics. It's a question of scale. It's a question, too, of do you need springs? So, for instance, it looks like she went with, can you see that from here, Patrick? Number 1 spring.
It's tough to see from here.
Well, a number 1 spring, if you look down at the bottom picture,
Have any here?
she looks like she decided to go with number 1 springs, which are the smallest coil springs, which for these chairs is perfect. Sometimes it's the height of a rail that determines it, but on side chairs, usually a number 1 spring, which is the smallest spring, which is a 6 count on the rungs. Don't ask me why they don't call it a number 6 spring, but anything over 5 is the number spring it is, and it goes up to, I think, 5 or 6, maybe even 7. So if it's 6 runs, it's the number 1 spring, which that is a small spring, which looks like she did fine. But it's determined. I hope that answers her question. It's a lot of determined on the sofas. Wire edge sofas get the bigger springs, so sofas and large club chairs obviously will get a bigger spring. So, what? Anything else? Any other business, Patrick?
Well, I want to mention that Jean posted a lot of good memories of past projects she did.
Jean?
Yeah,
on the Facebook.
She posts so many, and they're all so good.
Wait a minute, Jean or Nico?
Jean.
Jean.
I didn't print them out because there's a lot here, but definitely go on there and check them out.
Check out Facebook, you guys, if you're just starting out. If you've not gone on there yet, at Broadway Upholstery School Facebook.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of, I like it. There's a lot of colorful projects there. There's a lot of different types of projects.
And Jean has so many. She posts one from 3 years ago.
And you know, Patrick, they're so generous in their time. Other people are helping one another. I think Facebook is good for that, right?
Yeah. So keep it the post up, Jean. Those are. One of them's what's this one? A 4-wheeler seat. Is that what that is? A motorcycle?
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Boy, she's getting into everything, huh? Good for her.
I just want to make sure she knew we weren't ignoring her. I'm definitely seeing those, and they're cool.
So, do we have any other business, Patrick? Or are we going to be trying to get here next week?
Well, I got a comment here.
Okay.
From Elliot.
Hi, Elliot.
I'm going to be reupholstering a 60s Plycraft knockoff of the Ames Lounge. After 60 years, both the leather and the foam need replacing. My question is, what is the best way to contour the new foam?
This is a problem. I don't even touch these, Patrick.
What is this? Eames.
EAMES. I don't touch them because that's part of the problem. We can't, upholsterers cannot mold. Malcolm probably will have an idea. We don't do molded foam. I mean, that's a factory thing. They have their own dyes, patterns, or they call them something else. I can't remember the name of it, but what do they call them, Patrick? They pour the substance.
That's a dye, yeah.
It's not a dye. It's a mold. A mold. They have all the molds to do that at the factory, so they have. I mean, that's an advantage that upholsterers don't have. That's one problem.
So the only way I can see doing that then is to take the measurements of what it is and have somebody. There's probably a company out there that can make a new.
We just don't get into it because we're blessed with we can kind of pick and choose. Now there are people who specialize in this who've gotten really good. And I'm talking about people who are upholsterers and they just went into that. That's different. If I could do the same thing if I could just focus in on that one thing. But that's what it requires on a piece like that. And I can tell you right now, there will never be a YouTube video on an Eames chair. So I'm sorry I can't help you, Elliot, any more than that. You might find even the knockoffs.
In other words, it's not possible for Elliot to do.
I didn't say it's not possible. I think he can use the original materials if he can and try to duplicate what he has. But and do the best he can. That's what I would recommend that he does. Carefully take it apart and use those as patterns, and then
Sounds
do it.
tough.
It is. It's tough. Those are tough chairs. Any other questions, Patrick, or comments?
Randy has done a number of Plycraft chairs, but never replaced the foam. He's been lucky.
So that's right, Randy. You don't want to be. You want to try to use as much of the original components as possible.
Elliot said to replace the latex foam, it's shot.
Yeah.
There was no salvaging.
Yeah. You might be able to find a way of cutting, like get a thicker piece of foam, maybe find a creative way of cutting it to mold it somehow. But upholsterers are good at coming up with these MacGyver type hacks that I'm sure you'd be able to figure it out.
It reminds me of that chair you did. Remember that weird looking white one? It was like you said the angel chair or something like that. There was that weird one, remember? It was like this.
Oh yeah.
And remember how hard that was?
Yeah. Some are harder. So I think it'd be challenging. Any other business
I think that's it. But do you want to do that? Any estimates of Michaela? We haven't done that in a long time. So.
I don't think we should. We should save that for next time.
Okay, we're only about 40 minutes in,
Yeah, but I mean, we should save that for next time. I'm getting a little tired. Yeah. Well, I
think that's it. And will Jimmy be back next week or no? What's going on with Jimmy?
Jimmy saved me the other day. I forgot my keys. This shop's about 25 miles away. I got all the way here and I forgot my keys.
Imagine if he got here and you weren't here.
Jimmy happened to be at the shop, and he was nice. Jimmy's a nice guy. He was nice enough to come out here with the keys. Drive out here with the keys.
Well, we were talking, and we still update here with the class. We're at a point now where we're having trouble finding a sofa or a love seat, it sounds like.
Well, it's going to be tied up. That's the problem.
So I told Jimmy, and I think if people will agree because they just want content, just to find whatever he wants to find, and we'll do a class on whatever, as long as it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, maybe something will come.
I want to get going here with the filming of this next class.
Right.
Thought we had it, but then it got taken away.
We've been promising it. We got to get it done, Patrick.
Yeah.
All right, then we should wrap it up, and we'll see you guys next week, Patrick.
Yep.
Next Friday.
Back on schedule next week unless there's another snowstorm.
All right. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Bye.